The marble floors of First Metropolitan Bank echoed with familiar footsteps. Through the security feed on my laptop, I watched my parents enter the building, their expressions a mix of confusion and irritation. They were here to discuss their rejected loan application, the third one this month. "Your 10 a.m. is here, Ms. Chen," my assistant Michael announced through the intercom. "Let them wait in the lobby for a few minutes," I replied, adjusting my Armani blazer. "I want them to have a good look at the new executive wall." 8 years ago, I sat in our living room as they drained my college fund, $87,000 I'd helped save since childhood, to pay for my sister Emma's medical school tuition. "College isn't for everyone," Mom had said, not meeting my eyes. "Emma needs this more. She has real potential." Now through the camera I watched them notice the newly installed portrait wall. There, among the photos of bank executives, hung my official portrait with the gleaming letters beneath, "Sarah Chen, Chief Executive Officer." My father stumbled backwards slightly. My mother's hand flew to her mouth. "Mr. and Mrs. Chen?" The branch manager approached them. "Miss Chen will see you now. Please follow me to the executive floor." I switched off the security feed and opened the file on my desk. Their complete financial history. Every loan, every payment, every decision they'd made since that day 8 years ago. Including the recent string of risky investments that had left them desperately seeking new credit lines. The elevator dinged. My office door opened. "Sarah." My mother's voice was barely a whisper. I looked up from my desk, taking in their expressions. Gone was the dismissive confidence they'd shown that day in our living room. Gone was the certainty that their practical daughter would spend her life in some mid-level office job. "Mom, Dad, please have a seat." They moved hesitantly to the chairs facing my desk. Behind them, through floor-to-ceiling windows, the city skyline stretched out, a view they'd never imagined their non-academic daughter would command. "This is unexpected," my father managed. "Is it?" I smiled, opening their file. "More unexpected than taking your younger daughter's college fund? Or perhaps more unexpected than discovering your recent loan applications have been declined?" My mother flinched. "Sarah, about the college fund. Let's stick to the present," I cut her off smoothly. "You're here about your loan applications. 3 rejections in the past month, all from different branches of First Metropolitan. Quite persistent." "We didn't know," my father started. "That I was CEO? That I've been watching your financial decisions for the past 3 years? That every loan officer in this bank reports to me?" I leaned back in my chair. "There's quite a lot you didn't know." My phone buzzed, a message from Emma. "Mom and Dad at your bank? They said they had a meeting but wouldn't tell me where." Sweet, successful Emma. The golden child. The one with real potential. She still didn't know how her medical school had been funded. "Your investment in Pacific Grove Development," I continued, pulling out specific documents. "Against all professional advice, you mortgaged your house to buy in. And now the project is failing." They exchanged nervous glances. My father cleared his throat. "We had good information." "No," I corrected, "you had desperate information. The same kind of desperate thinking that made you take my college fund 8 years ago." "How did you?" My mother paused, studying my office. Her eyes lingered on the Harvard Business School diploma on the wall. "How did you manage all this?" I opened another folder, this one containing my own financial history. "The night you took my college fund, I walked to the local branch of First Metropolitan. I had exactly $200 birthday money I'd hidden in my desk. I opened a business account." "With $200? My father scoffed, a ghost of his old condescension surfacing. "Yes," I smiled, turning my monitor to show them the transaction history. "I worked 3 jobs, barista in the morning, data entry during the day, restaurant server at night. Every penny went into investment research and online business courses." My phone buzzed again. This time from Michael. "Pacific Grove Development just filed for bankruptcy. The news will go public in an hour." Perfect timing. 6 months after you took my college fund, I made my first real investment, buying debt from failing businesses. Small amounts at first, but carefully chosen. By the end of that year, I'd turned my $12,000 savings into $50,000. My mother's hands were trembling. "Why didn't you tell us? Like you told me about taking my college fund?" I pulled up another document. Or like you told Emma where her medical school money really came from? Their silence was answer enough. 2 years after you emptied my account, I was managing a small investment fund. By year 4, I'd caught the attention of First Metropolitan's board. They offered me a junior executive position. I gestured to my office. The rest, as they say, is history. My father leaned forward. Sarah, about the loans. Ah yes, the loans. I pressed the intercom. Michael, please bring in the Pacific Grove files. My assistant entered with a thick folder just as both my parents' phones started buzzing, no doubt news alerts about Pacific Grove's bankruptcy. You see, I continued as they frantically checked their phones, I've been watching your investment decisions for years. Every risky venture, every desperate grab for quick returns. Just like Pacific Grove Development, which, I glanced at my watch, has officially filed for bankruptcy as of 3 minutes ago. The color drained from their faces. Your house, my mother whispered. We used the house as collateral. Along with your retirement accounts, Dad's life insurance policy, and that small inheritance from Grandma Chen. I laid out the documents one by one. All gone unless. Unless what? My father demanded. I pulled out a final folder thick, bound in blue leather. Unless you accept my offer. What offer? First Metropolitan is preparing to acquire the assets of Pacific Grove Development. At a very favorable rate, I might add. As CEO, I have certain discretionary powers when it comes to protecting our clients from their own bad decisions. My phone buzzed one more time. Emma again. Parents aren't answering their phones. Getting worried. I can save your investments, I said quietly. Restructure your loans, protect your assets, even guarantee you a small return. But there are conditions. My mother reached for the blue folder, but I held it back. First, I said, Emma learns the truth. About the college fund, about everything. It would destroy her, my mother protested. Like it was supposed to destroy me? I countered. Second condition. You both resign from the board of Chen Family Investments. Immediately. My father stood up. That's our legacy. No, I corrected, it's your ego. The company has lost money for 6 straight quarters. You're running it into the ground just like everything else. The silence in my office was deafening. Through the windows, storm clouds were gathering over the city, a fitting backdrop for this family drama 8 years in the making. The third condition, I continued, pulling out a final document, is that you sign control of Chen Family Investments over to me. Impossible, my father sputtered. Your sister has no interest in running it, I finished. I spoke with her last week. She's drowning in hospital administration and wants out. She just doesn't know how to tell you. My phone lit up with another message from Emma. Sarah, I'm downstairs in the lobby. Parents' phones going straight to voicemail. Getting really worried. I pressed the intercom. Michael, please escort Dr. Emma Chen to my office. My parents exchanged panicked looks. Sarah, please, my mother began. Too late, I said as the door opened. Emma walked in, still in her hospital scrubs, and stopped short. Mom? Dad? What's going on? I stood up, gesturing to an empty chair. Perfect timing, sis. We were just discussing some family history. Specifically, the source of your medical school funding. Sarah, don't, my father warned. Don't what? Emma looked between us. What's happening? I opened my desk drawer and pulled out one final piece of paper, my original college fund statement from 8 years ago. Remember when I suddenly decided college wasn't for me? When I chose to work instead of pursuing higher education? Emma nodded slowly. You said you preferred real-world experience. No, I corrected gently. That's what they told you, I said. The truth is, my college fund was empty to pay for your medical school. All $87,000 of it. The color drained from Emma's face. She turned to our parents. Is this true? Our mother burst into tears. Our father stared at the floor. But you said you took out loans, Emma whispered. They lied, I said simply. Just like they've been lying about their investments, their business decisions, and their financial situation. I handed her the Pacific Grove bankruptcy filing. As of today, they've lost everything. The house, their retirement, all of it, unless they accept my help. Emma sank into the chair, medical papers slipping from her hands. I didn't know. I swear, Sarah, I didn't know. I believe you, I said softly. You were always the honest one. My father finally found his voice. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Watching us squirm. No, Dad, I met his gaze. I'm correcting a wrong. Several wrongs, actually. Starting with the lie that I wasn't college material. I gestured to my Harvard diploma. I paid for that myself. Every penny. While building my investment portfolio, working multiple jobs, and watching you make increasingly desperate financial decisions. Why didn't you stop us? My mother asked. If you knew we were making bad investments. Because you needed to understand consequences, I replied. Like I did that night you took my future and gave it to Emma. Emma was crying now. I'll pay you back, Sarah. Every cent. No, I smiled at her. You won't. Because that money bought us something more valuable than education. It bought truth. I pressed a button on my desk and the office windows turned opaque, giving us privacy. Here's what's going to happen, I said, opening the blue folder. First Metropolitan will acquire Pacific Grove's assets. Your investment will be protected, converted to preferred shares in a new development company I'm creating. My father started to speak, but I held up my hand. Chen family investments will be restructured under my leadership. Emma will be freed from any obligation to join the business, allowing her to focus on her medical career, which is what she actually wants. Emma nodded gratefully. You, I looked at our parents, will retain ceremonial positions but no decision-making power. Your retirements will be secured through a trust I'll establish, one you cannot access for risky investments. And if we refuse? My father challenged. I walk away, Pacific Grove falls, you lose your home and savings, Chen family investments fails, and Emma learns the rest of the secrets, I said. Mom gasped. You wouldn't. Try me, I replied. I learned business from you, while you drained my college fund. Rain hit the windows, lightning lit the room. Sign the papers, I told them. Then we can rebuild, business and maybe family. Emma signed first. Dad followed. We thought we were doing right, he muttered. No, I said. You chose the wrong child. Now I have nothing to lose and everything to prove. Mom signed last, crying. Can you forgive us? Forgiveness is earned, I said. This is a start. I looked at the stormy city. The bank's car will take you home. Emma, dinner soon? She smiled. I'd like that. After they left, I opened my laptop to my first investment, distressed debt from a restaurant where I once worked nights. A news alert praised my takeover of Pacific Grove. I smiled, remembering Mom's words. College isn't for everyone. He was right. Sometimes you must lose everything to build better.